So I fucking welcome. I fucking go to the fucking corner of the parking lot where nobody fucking is. And the second I start, just ready to start the podcast, the show, some fucking guy pulls up. And it's like, you got the whole fucking parking lot. Like, fuck off. You gotta park right beside me in the middle of nowhere? What, am I selling you dope or something for fuck's sakes? Like, give me a fucking break here. Ay, ay, ay. This happens a lot to me. I'll go and try and be alone somewhere because I can't do it in my apartment. The walls are too thin. I can't scream and fucking yell. But I try and go out of the way, and every fucking time some fucking person just like pulls up for no fucking reason, or it's fucking ridiculous. You can't escape people. Like, I wish I could just disappear for a minute and fucking. I shouldn't say that, but just to get away from these fucking people that I don't know, I don't want to know, I don't want to talk to, whatever. Anyways, welcome to the show. Bitch Faggot Radio, episode number 46. I'm your host, Jason Van Jason. You can find me on Twitter at Jason Van Jason. You can find me on Instagram. My name on there is Jason Van Jason, blog author, all one word. You can find my blog at www.jasonvanjason.ca. And if you would like to find my Amazon Author Central page, you can go to my channel, and on the banner, there's an A icon for Amazon. You can click on that. You can go to the bottom of my blog that says buy shit here on any page of my blog, or conversely, you can go to my Instagram and it will be my website. Pretty explanatory for getting to the Amazon page. So go get there and quit fucking around and buy shit so I can take your money. And I'm not offering refunds. Well, Amazon might offer a refund. I'm not going to give you a refund. Because fuck you, that's why. That's why there's no refunds, because fuck you. And yeah. So these past 2 days I've been at McDonald's writing. And I like going to McDonald's because you get free coffee refills rather than having to buy a new fucking coffee every time you finish one. So I'm in the bathroom and there is this disgusting fucking like plunger thing there. Like, ugh, it makes me fucking want to puke. Like, I fucking seriously walked into the restaurant, went to the bathroom, and I fucking immediately lost my appetite. I was just like, this is fucking gross. That's been there for like 3 days now. So yesterday, finally, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna fucking snap this and put it on Instagram. Fuck this. This is gross. So that's what I did. I put it on Instagram. Then I put it again today, and I'll probably go back tomorrow and see if it's still fucking there, and I guarantee it fucking will be. Fucking absolutely disgusting. Just makes me want to fucking puke. And see, this guy takes off. He doesn't even get out of his car to go to a store or anything. He's just taking off. Just gotta be a nuisance of a human being. Fucking. And now we got 2 more guys fucking walking up here. I'm sure you'll hear them. Like, it just fucking doesn't end. They need like a people-free zone. We need like zones where it's like people-free. You know what I mean? It's like you can just go and you're gonna be rest assured that there's gonna be no people anywhere. That would be nice. But that doesn't happen. And it's so funny because when you want there to be people there, there's never people there. You know, if you're like promoting something, if you're hosting some kind of event, maybe a party, you want people to show up, and it's so hard to get people to show up. And then you go somewhere and you're like, hey, I just want to be alone, and fucking people just start showing up randomly. It's fucking ridiculous. Ay. It's insane. I don't know what to say. It's like these people can sense that I want to be left alone, and they're like, let's go not leave this guy alone. That's a good idea. Here's another one. Yeah, right beside me. Like, unbelievable. Unfucking believable. But what can I say? You know, I live in a city. Maybe I'll have to buy an acreage. I guess that's why people buy acreages. You know, to have like a people-free zone where they don't have people doing a bunch of whatever fucking things that these people do. You know, that would be nice to just get away. It would get lonely too sometimes, especially me. Like, I like to be alone a lot. That's why I like living in the cities, because I'm connected, but I'm disconnected. But out there, that'd be a little bit too much disconnection for me, I think. I think I might go crazy and become like a serial killer if that happened or something. I don't know. I might become a serial killer anyways. We'll see what happens. These fucking people are just driving me nuts. That's a joke, by the way, you fucks. It's not serious. Aight? It's not a fucking serious thing. I guess when you know, like, for example, I was listening to this video about like fucked up recordings. It was like 15 like super fucked up recordings online or something. And one of them was this guy who was making content online. He wasn't even a guy. He was like a preteen. I don't know how old he was when he killed himself, but I wish I could remember the guy's name, but it was just so fascinating to hear somebody basically fucking say like, hey, this is a suicide tape, and it's just hours and hours of suicide tapes, and this guy had bought like a shotgun and then bought like another shotgun and went to the grocery store he worked at and killed like 2 people or 3 people and then himself. It's just fucking crazy to listen to it and to listen to him plan out his own suicide and these murders just months ahead of time. Speaking of serial killers, what a fucking dark topic to be on. But it was just something that I've never heard before, and I was just like, wow, this is dark as fuck. But it gives you some insight, you know, these people, and like, yeah, it just gives you some insight. It's yeah, it was fucking crazy, and like he had this this show called something Ghost Squad or something like that. I can't remember what it was. I don't know, but he had like enacted his plan through this show that he had. It was fucked up. And then obviously he went and did it and killed those people and killed himself. It was fucking crazy. I shouldn't talk lightly about it. Like, it's not a big deal. It's a big fucking deal. People died. People lost their lives over it, you know. It's a fucked up thing. It's just crazy. You know, people just minding their own business, going about their lives, working with this guy, maybe being nice to him, trying to be nice to him, maybe not, but his life just isn't working out. Maybe he's not making the best choices. Who knows, you know, from the sounds of it, he was just depressed or something. I couldn't even begin to speculate, you know, the multitude of issues that drove this guy to do what he did, but for these people to just get caught up in it is just wild. Like, you know, it's fucked up to say, but it would have just been so much better if this guy just killed himself. But instead he had to take, you know, 3 or 4 people with him. And that's just fucking crazy. That's such a big loss when you look at all the resources poured into those people and the time and the effort and the love and care that those people had and their families. And that's just boom, 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 gone. Like, fuck. And we are resilient beings, human beings, except when we're faced against each other. And except when we're faced against our own creations, right? Then we become so fragile. You know, we've managed to dominate nature throughout these thousands of years, and yet, when faced with each other, in our creations, we just are frail, and it's just wild. It's scary to see that now that we've dominated nature, the game is to dominate each other as human beings. And people like to admit that life isn't that way, but it kind of is. There are power structures in this society, and if you think there's no power structure in this society, you're fucking retarded. There's something wrong with you. There's 100% power structures. And the main thing about those power structures is that once those people have that power, it's very hard for them to lose it unless someone takes it from them. But power isn't normally something you're going to give up willingly. That takes a thing of character. And most of the time, people who end up giving up power willingly, if somebody ends up seizing it who is just fucking crazy, and the person who gave it up ends up in the crosshairs anyways, right? It's just, the people who have seized power in the past 100 years, I feel like, have held it. And I don't base that off of any, conspiracy theory or any, Illuminati or anything. It's just human nature. It's just human nature. Look at how we've dominated the fucking animal kingdom. It's just human nature for us to grab power and hold on to it for as long as possible. It is what it is. And it's human nature for us to rain down on people that we can. To shit on them, to do whatever, we can do. It's human nature to do that. And a lot of the time, the people with the power end up doing that and want to further their own agenda, and the collateral damage that they cause to other people's lives becomes kind of part of the deal, People say, oh, it's nothing personal, right? Fucking up your life, bro, but nothing personal, It's wild to see those power structures kind of manifest in our society the way they have. And it's more funny when people try and chalk it up to conspiracy theory, and then we have the people who try and debunk the conspiracy theory. Do I believe in conspiracy theory? I believe in facts. And I believe in statistics that are found in a factual manner. And unfortunately, due to the internet and all the information that it has given us, we are no longer in a period where facts matter as much as they did before. We're in a time now where thought is a lot more dominating over fact. And that's good and bad. I think it's way more bad than good, but it is what it is, and that's where our society is at. We're, like I said, at a place where thought has dominated fact, and I don't think it's going to get any better. I think people are going to chalk them censoring the internet up to conspiracy theory or up to power and control. And it is power and control to a certain extent, but the thing is that even when we don't have an official power structure and control, there is one that's going to naturally occur, regardless. You know what I mean? That power structures come up naturally. It's a natural thing. It comes with intelligence, I feel like. And so even if these power structures don't come to fruition within the internet, they're still there, They're still very alive and well, and there's still people manipulating factors that some people can't. You know, we talk about like hackers, you know, people who can do things that on the internet that, you know, the real ordinary person can't, or maybe they can and just aren't willing to, right? I don't know anything about hacking, so I wouldn't know if somebody is like, you know, you know what I mean, like fucking, I don't know. It's wild though, just to see those power structures and to see them try and put official ones in, ones that hopefully everyone can have some sort of say in to a certain extent. The thing is that the ridiculous people with their ridiculous opinions, you know, before we could just silence those people and we could just say like, dude, shut the fuck up, or lady, shut up, you know, and that would be the end of it. But these days, these people band together and they find each other quite easily, and when they get banded together and find these numbers, we have to now accommodate their opinion. As ridiculous as it may be, we have to accommodate their opinion. I'm just going to open up my window here. We have to accommodate these people's opinion, even though we don't want to. We fucking have to. It's just a game of numbers. Especially if you're someone who is relying on those numbers. It's one thing if you can just disregard these people entirely. You know, a lot of what the Trump narrative stems from is the fact that this guy doesn't need he doesn't need like the wage offered by the position of the president, you know. He didn't need funds to wage his own presidential campaign. He didn't need to fundraise or anything. He just did it on his own terms, and there's an admiration in that, but at the same time, it speaks to the power structure. That is a very powerful man who has now become more powerful. And that's a nature. You know, people talk about they were surprised that Trump won. You know who wasn't surprised? This guy. Because power naturally gains more power. It is what it is. Powerful people are always going to be drawn to more power. Because they can quantify it. Like, we can't quantify what $1 billion can buy you. There are people out there that can quantify what $1 billion will buy you, and they know, well, if I want to buy that, I'm going to need more than $1 billion. You know, that quantification ends up becoming a big factor in them seeking more power. But that's what it is. People who have power tend to find more power. If that means they got to take it, steal it, kill you for it, whatever, there's a good chance they're going to. And so there's some people who don't want any power in this world. There's a lot of people who could do a lot of good with that power, but realize they're going to be among very ruthless people who have done things to get that power that they have that they wouldn't normally be willing to do. The ruthlessness of seeking power is just... It's the pinnacle of human ingenuity today. It's unpredictable in the worst way possible. Because those people don't give you a chance to react to their position. Once they're in a position, you're fucked. So you have to kind of predetermine and premeditate their position and attempt to stop it. And what am I talking about? I don't know. But I'm talking about power in general. I'm talking about people who strike fast. That's what people with power do. They strike fast and they strike with overwhelming force. And that's how it's done. That's how you do it. You don't fuck around. That's how you fucking do it. That's how it should be done. Yeah. That's how conquering has always been done. Overwhelming force. Yeah. And war is nasty because typically there's two forces that can't overwhelm each other. So they have to engage each other in their respective highest capacities possible. And that's what makes war scary, is the highest capacity possible is going to come to fruition. That's what we're scared of. And today that means nuclear war. And people think like, well, nuclear war is not going to come to fruition, or nuclear war is going to happen. Of course it's going to happen. Are you fucking joking me? Power seeks power. All day. All day. And for people who have power and lose it, those people have a taste. And those people become more ruthless when they are subject to somebody else's power. And they say, well, I want this guy's power so I can get revenge and do this and ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And I've been there too, but I let it go to a certain extent. And let it be known that all authors are power hungry. All of us are. Well, authorship and writing in general is extremely competitive. We don't say it's competitive because it's almost a front to things that are really competitive. Things like, for example, comparing being an author to being like a cage fighter or something, right? Being an author is competitive in the intellectual sense, but being an author or being a competitor in like a cage fight, that's in your face competitive. That's a different type of competitive, and the two can be compared, but not really. Competition in general has a sense of natural hierarchy about it. Competition is a function of power. It really is. And it's healthy. Competition is healthy. Power seeking is healthy as long as you have other people that are seeking power. But that's what makes power seeking ultimately unhealthy, is that when those people get more and more power, they want to eliminate their competition. And that's what has become unhealthy about our power structure today, is that the people at the highest echelons of that power just consolidate. They don't try and breed competition to gain more power. Because ultimately solidifying power is ineffective when it comes to having power, because there's nothing more powerful than other people going out and getting power for you, right? Having influence. Influence is so important today. People forget about influence. We chalk influence up to finance today and buying power. And people have forgot about the influence of, the word. It's crazy. But it still exists. People, it exists to the point, and it's been so refined to the point where people don't know that they're being manipulated when they are. And I guess that's the defining factor of a good manipulator, is that's why I don't typically like hanging out with women, because us men, we can't understand how most women manipulate us. I think most women are pretty manipulative. Not all. But those who have to rely on their skills of manipulation are very good at it. And they downplay it, they say they're not, and us men, we give them the benefit of the doubt. Because they're manipulating us. Even if it's just manipulating us physically with their looks, right? We talk about like the white knight. The person who stands up for the woman who is kind of in the wrong a little bit, but or is standing up for a woman regardless. Is just kind of standing up for the person because they're a woman. It's kind of like a function of pussy seeking, pussy chasing, to a certain extent. Like the notion that it's never okay to hit a woman. If it's never okay to hit a woman, then it should never be okay for a woman to hit a man. But it is. And that, again, is a function of consolidation, I feel like. And the reason that is because beforehand men would dominate women physically, right? It would. I don't want to make it seem like I'm a misogynist by saying that, and I don't care if you think I do, but just to kind of clear the air on that statement, I mean, like, men would immediately force the most powerful situation they could be in on the people who couldn't compete, right? They would immediately consolidate, right? Rather than empowering those people, which is what we should be doing. We should be empowering our competition so that we can ultimately let them gather stuff for us, which is also a thing of consolidation, but at least the competition's there and it gives them a chance. But instead, we force the most overwhelming scenario on that individual very quickly. And we put them in a situation that we know they can't deal with. That's really what consolidating power is all about. Whew. Coming on. That was a long rant. I think I just repeated myself for 15 minutes. Anyways, that's it for now. Good luck with whatever you're doing. May God bless you, may the devil touch you, and may you find a balance between those two forces that brings you some sort of unsatisfaction or dissatisfaction in your life, so that you are driven to a place of discomfort so that you can grow. You should be seeking discomfort and suffering. You should be seeking those things because they're going to help you grow. So yeah, do that. Grow intellectually, that is, obviously. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to get into it anymore. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.